Over the years, MS Teamworks has shared different perspectives on MS from patients, care partners, family members, and healthcare professionals. Guided by our mantra, I have MS, I have a team, I have a future, we are proud to share new messages of hope and inspiration with the MS community.
I have MS.
I'm on your team.
I have a future. My name is Lisa Moore, and I've been living with MS for 17 years. What led up to my MS diagnosis was a series of symptoms that were unexplainable and very concerning to me. They were things like unexplained, unusual vision problems and rashes that I couldn't explain and couldn't actually even see on my body, but I was uncomfortable and I felt like I had a rash, as well as some balance problems. And then in addition to that, I had several UTIs, and these were all occurring at the same time. Where I lived, which was a relatively large city, the neurologist who I was referred to by my GP was well known, and I sought him out and explained my symptoms, and actually thought that I might have MS because I had a cousin who had MS. I learned to advocate for myself. I learned to continue going to doctors until I got some answers and until tests were given, because initially the doctors that I went to dismissed my symptoms and didn't take me seriously. At the beginning, I sought out a neurologist and suspected that I was having some neurological problem or disease. And I was not taken seriously. The doctor that I sought out was just dismissing my symptoms as psychological and did not order tests for me at the time. And I was simply told that my symptoms were psychological. What I did what led me to finally be diagnosed was this continuation of UTIs. And I went to a urologist, and when he heard my symptoms and sat with me and listened to what was going on with me, he suspected that I was having symptoms that could be multiple sclerosis. When I was diagnosed, I felt confused, I felt frustrated, I felt very uncomfortable, and I felt a lot of pain. I researched stem cell therapy because I had tried every injectable and oral medication that is out for MS, and nothing was working. So I decided to pursue stem cell therapy and talked to my doctor here in Seattle, Dr. Bowen, and also spoke with a patient of his who had gone to Israel, which is where stem cell therapy is being performed. My big takeaway from researching stem cell therapy was that the risk-reward was not worth it for me. And the results were not conclusive that it would be helpful in either treating my MS or hopefully curing it, which I did not see that as happening. I've had to advocate for myself quite a bit because I've moved many times. I've moved several times throughout the country, and each time have had to find a new neurologist. And the way that I've done that is by doing lots of research, of course, online, as well as talking to friends that may live in the new city that I'm moving to, as well as speaking with the neurologist in the current city that I'm living in and getting recommendations for the new city that I'm moving to. What I'm looking for in a neurologist is somebody who is very knowledgeable in current research as well as in, future therapies, as well as in having a comprehensive practice, a practice that would have something like a support group and exercise therapies that, PTs that are either in office or that they can refer me to, as well as sometimes there are book clubs or social activities that are offered in their practice. The people on my MS team are the psychologists or sociologists that run the support group that I attend in my current practice here in Seattle, as well as patients, other patients that I meet that have become my friends, and PTs that I go to because I regularly go to PT, and I consider them to be part of my team. The reason I feel advocacy is so important is because when you're experiencing symptoms that you cannot explain or are uncomfortable, you want to figure out what is going on. And if you have a clinician who is dismissing your concerns, you need to constantly advocate for yourself because you know your body the best. And that's what happened with me. I was misdiagnosed, and I had an MRI that was misread, and I knew something was very wrong. I knew that my symptoms and my pain was something real, and I knew that if I would continue to seek out different doctors and different specialties, I would indeed find out what was wrong with me. And I continued to do that, and what felt like an eternity was really just probably 2 to 3 months. But I did indeed find out what was wrong with me. And even though it was very scary to learn that I had MS, which is a very scary disease, I was glad to finally learn what was going on, and then to go from there to figure out how to treat it and to figure out how to find the best doctor for me and who could help me and who would listen to me and work with me. What I would want to say to people who are recently or newly diagnosed is to continue to research current therapies and to reach out to people with MS and to to join and to participate in a support group, because that's invaluable to converse and learn from your peers and people who have the same illness that you do.